So hey guys, what is going on? It's AllDayOBJ and I'm back here today with another video, and in this video, what I'm going to be doing is I will be telling you guys another story. This is going to be another installment of my series called Storytime, and if you guys are new to this series, basically in this series I just tell you guys stories. It's as simple as that, really, and it's pretty self-explanatory considering the name is Storytime, right? So it's stories, right? Anyways, the gameplay you guys are going to be seeing in the background is a nice little hardpoint game on Black Ops 2 League Play. And speaking of League Play, I just got into Masters earlier today, so I'm happy about that. Anyways, though, this is a nice little game on Black Ops 2 League Play, and I end up dropping a 30 or 40 bomb. I get like 18 defense. I totally destroy these enemies, so it works out pretty well. Anyways, though, let's get right into the story. So, this story occurred all the way back in, I don't know, maybe 6th or 7th grade, a couple years back. Right now, currently, I am in high school, so yeah, a couple years back, basically, 6th or 7th grade, I can't remember when. And this occurred one summer where my family and I took a trip to Australia. And for me, like that, I thought that was super cool. I was so pumped to go there because Australia is a place that I had always wanted to go previously. So I was super psyched when I heard we were going to be going there. So this was, I believe, like halfway through the trip. And it all started this one morning where we woke up and we were preparing to go to this jungle tour, right? And for me, I was not too pumped about it. Like, I was pumped to go to Australia, but to wake up early in the morning just to go to some jungle, I was not digging it, right? I really was not. And you know, this morning, eventually the tour turned out really well. It was super fun, but in the morning, I was super tired. I just didn't want to do it, basically. But we did end up going to the tour, and throughout the tour, it started when we had to go to this one parking lot, right? And at this parking lot, we were going to be rendezvousing. I don't even know if that's a word, like rendezvousing, I don't even know. Regardless, though, we were going to meet up with our tour guide. So, basically, we hopped in the car. It was like a 30-minute drive, and we drove all the way to this one random parking lot. I don't even remember where, but this one random parking lot, basically, and we went there, and we noticed this guy there, right? And this guy, he looked like a tour guide. Like, he appeared to be a seasoned veteran when it came to jungle tour stuff. He had all the kinds of bug spray. He had all the gear, and he didn't look super young. He didn't look super old. He kind of seemed in between, and he came to us, and he gave us a nice little friendly greeting in his Australian accent. I've always thought Australian accents are pretty cool, if I say so myself. But anyways, so he goes up to us, he introduces himself, and we go on our way. So while we're in the parking lot, though, he comes up to us, and he goes up to this tree, right? And he just walks up to here, and to the tree, and he's like, "This tree is a very interesting tree. All sorts of wildlife live here," in his Australian accent. I'm sorry if my Australian accent is crappy, it probably is, but whatever. So he talks about how the different wildlife that live on this tree, right? And eventually, he goes up, and he points at a bunch of ants that are crawling up and down the tree. And he goes up, I kid you not, he takes a finger, puts it on the tree, an ant eventually crawls onto his finger, and he eats the ant off his finger. He just licks it up, and he just devours the ant. And then he starts ranting on about how great a source of protein ants are. And he's like, "Many ants in Australia can be poisonous, but in this case, these ants are a great source of protein." So he says that, and eventually he's just like, "Anyone else want to try some?" So I gave him this sort of weird look, like trying ants would be something ridiculous, right? But eventually I was thinking, and I was just like, you know what? YOLO, I want to try some ants. You don't get to eat ants every day. So, basically, I came up to the tree, and there are all sorts of ants crawling around. And I put my finger on the tree, but not just one ant crawls on. A bunch of, like, a solid amount of ants, like 3 to 5 ants, crawl into my finger, right? And so I ask, and he's like, "Yeah, just get the ants on your finger and then lick them off," right? And So I put the ants in my mouth, and I noticed a couple things. First off, they taste sour. They taste sour and bitter at the same time. And they didn't taste great. They did not taste amazing. They didn't taste terrible, but they did not taste amazing. Then, after I noticed that, then the most odd sensation basically occurred. And this was basically when I could feel the ants crawling around in my mouth. Like, I could literally feel their slimy legs and stuff crawling all over my tongue. And I was disgusted. I was so disgusted. You should have seen the look on my face. I was just completely repulsed by all these different ants that were on the tree. So, I was completely repulsed. I was out. I just did not know what to do. I was disgusted. I swallowed like one of them, and as the rest of them were crawling in my mouth, I was just like, you know what? This is just, I cannot stand this. I just spit them out. And it was one of the more weird experiences in my life. And throughout the rest of the jungle tour, we saw a bunch of other really neat things. We saw a bunch of really dangerous ants. We saw this one ant called a bullet ant, which has a bunch of venom or whatever in it, and it was absolutely huge, at least for an ant. We saw all sorts of different kinds of things. It was pretty neat. I could probably tell you guys a bunch of more stories from this tour. I probably will do that because it was really neat, and that was just one day of being in Australia, which is why I think Australia is a really cool place to go to, and I would really like to go back there sometime, because I've only been there once, and I think it would be cool to go there sometime again. But regardless, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this story. If you did enjoy the story, then be sure to leave a like on the video. That will really help me out. I'll be seeing you guys later, and bye.
Life.